Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we are currently, apparently, heading towards the Civil War. This is the head of the Rayana family? Okay, that's just this guy here. I'm just gonna bribe him. We'll call that good. We're still working down our aggressive expansion here, and we're probably not gonna look to attack the Magadan Empire at least until after their war with Sumpa is over. We'll see how that ends up going, how the terrain shifts over here. But for now, that'll do just fine. These guys are finishing up their road build. They are actually very, very close to done with that. Excellent. So that's looking very good. No problem whatsoever there. We do have a fair amount of tech that's going to be finished up soon. We're still working our way down to army surgeons. After that, the plan was to go to, I believe, siege ramps. So that should be fine. We're also continuing to work on provincial legations, and we'll get a couple of those queued up. As far as missions go, what do we actually need to do for missions here? So Lankan nobility, that still needs some work. No doubt about that. An island paradise is still slowly happening. We need at least 2 territories to be a metropolis. Okay, so this is a metropolis. We would need another one. So what's the next highest city here? This is 39 in population, 40, 43. Okay, so we would be looking to make this into a metropolis. 400 gold? Yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that. We're still going to be lacking in the number of pops that are Lankan and Buddhist. For sure. 188, 80% Lankan. Sure. And a lot of these are accepted cultures, integrated cultures, that are not actually Lankan. So we may actually need to, like, unaccept some of those cultures, like, one at a time. That might not be a bad idea, actually. So, in theory, then, we would sort by number of pops, and any of these that are integrated, we would start going, like, Tamil, and we'd start bringing that down. So this is just up to Freeman. Okay, so they would be upset for 10 years. But we wouldn't want to do this across the entire culture all at once, right? That's for sure. There'd be, actually, Charon would be the one that we would start with. Are there any others that are integrated here that are lower? No. So we'd start with this and we'd do like 1 per episode or something along those lines. So let's go ahead and bump them down to Freeman. Now they're going to be very unhappy about this. Actually, okay, that was the Tamils. Sure. For some reason, I thought that was going to be these guys, but no, it was the Tamils. Let's also bump these guys down. They're going to be very unhappy about that as well. So we'll just do maybe like 2 per episode or something like that. I want it to be a fairly slow process of bringing that down because I definitely want to get these integrated a little bit better. So we can call down an omen here, and state religion happiness is, I think, definitely the thing to do to help offset that. Most of these guys are the correct religion at this point, so that should be good. Okay. The head of one of these families died. We now have 2 scorned families. Okay. For now, I'm going to tell these guys to just make their way around... not like that. Just come on up here. And then come on down this way in a slightly awkward route. Okay, our oratory advance is advanced. That's fine. Then follow along this river, just following the road. I just don't want them to build along the way. So that'll be fine. We're going to grab army surgeons here. There we go. Army attrition minus 10% and supply limit plus 15% is absolutely huge. That's really, really, really good. So that'll be great. The war with Sumpa and the Magadans appears to be over, and I don't notice any territorial changes here. Okay. Integrated culture happiness plus 5%. Okay, that's reasonably nice. And we'll take some gold. Cool. Okay, these guys can now come off of road build and just be told, get here as quickly as you can. They're going to take this route. Actually, go ahead and build roads on the way over. Anywhere that doesn't have one. I think that's fine. This guy got murdered. Okay. And we're going to need a new one of these guys. Aggressive expansion change reduction. Okay, sure. Nanda and Naga. This guy's actually reasonably competent, so we'll go ahead and put him in. Beautiful. We need another commander over here. So either Nanda or Naga, whichever is more qualified, would be ideal. We would need to put in a commander here. And Naga. Here we go. So we would put this guy in. There we go. And now it's just the Nanda family that considers themselves scorned. Cool. So we're going to come found this metropolis at this point. We want to found metropolis. 400 gold. Oh, they need 80 population there. Yeah, that would help. So we can't actually found this metropolis, and there's not enough population capacity here right now. We could certainly build a pair of aqueducts. That would give us 8 additional population capacity, up to 58. That would not be enough. We could also do some religious endowments. 1 building slot or 2.5% pop cap. The building slot would be more valuable at this point, I think. So let's go ahead and do a province investment here. And we'll start building this up in preparation for making it into a metropolis. We can't do it just yet, but we'll get to work on that. Our provincial legations are going to continue to be built, of course. We'll get a few of those going. Excellent. And these guys are going to be arriving here shortly. They're no longer going to build any roads, so we can take them off of road build. And then we'll merge them on in here. There we go. And just get them drilling. Fantastic. These guys should be drilling as well. There we go. Cool. So what else do we need to do in missions? Well, we've got those jungle elephants that would need to be worked on. Assimilating the Tamils are being worked on. Was it the Tamils that we... Yes, we unintegrated the Tamils. Cool. They're going to be upset for a few years. That is fully understood. We'll let them continue to be upset. And yeah, the Cholans are bonus happy. That's good. And we're going to grab, I think, siege ladders here. Assault ability isn't that big of a deal, but we definitely want to grab Scorpio siege towers into siege ramps. That is 100% something that we want. And the rest of these are actually reasonably fine, too. We do have to have this in order to make our way down there. So that's going to be exciting. We're not married right now. We can arrange a marriage with perhaps the Nanda family. A hard bargain, but worth every penny. So we're in debt here. That's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. We'll have some potentially awkward events, but we aren't going to have to worry about our road build. So that's fine. We'll stay in debt for a few months here, and we'll see what we get for events. Nothing that month. Okay. And it is this guy. That's the current problem. Cult sanctioned. Yep. That's cool. We'll bribe this fine gentleman here. And down over this way, of course, we're working on these aqueducts. So we are going to need to build another one of those once we have the cash. Progress abandoned is not great. Minus 25% research points for about 2 years. But it does pull us out of debt. And we're actually still at 172. So, realistically, that's not bad. Okay. So that's good to know. That does, of course, mean that we're pretty overbuilt on our research. And our ruler's wife just died. Well. Oh, actually, we're able to just marry her for free. Fantastic. Cool. I was expecting to have to pay for that again. The Vijaya family can definitely handle that. I'm sure they'll be okay. So we're going to get ourselves an additional pair of provincial legations. We do need a few more of these, and that'll be fine. I would like to start thinking about unintegrating a few more of these. How many total are there? There's only the 3? There are only the 3. Okay, so that's definitely fascinating. Should we just unintegrate them all right now? Can we see what religion they mostly are? That would be interesting to note. I think we should actually just demote all of them. They're going to be upset for a while. And that's fully understood. So let's just bring all of these down. They're going to be very, very upset. This may cause some internal issues. What did I just do here? We're integrating these? I did not mean to integrate them. Can I cancel that? I meant to bring them down to Freeman. Okay, we might be messing up here. I did not mean to integrate these guys. Okay. We could think about reloading. When was the last save? I'm not sure when that happens. Autosave. This does not say when the date was. That was 2 minutes ago, though? Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. I did make that mistake. Let's reload this real quick. I did not intend to do that, and there doesn't appear to be a way to cancel it, which is strange. I caught it right away, so I'm okay with this. There should be a way to cancel it. Okay, now where were we? We were unintegrating these cultures here. Let's sort by integration status. We were unintegrating the Kuntalans. We were unintegrating the Cholans. And the Pandians. The Magadins were never integrated to begin with. So we unintegrate all of them. They're going to be unhappy for 10 years. That's understood, and it may cause internal issues. But we didn't mean to start the integration of the Magadins, so we're not going to continue the integration of the Magadins. Okay, otherwise it looks like we didn't really lose anything. Cool. So that's absolutely fine. It's nice that there was an autosave, like, right there. So we're going to get a provincial legation going here. This faith is... Do we want the stability there? We're going to remove that miser. 18 gold for 6 stability and religious tech investment up by 5%. That seems reasonable. Do it. Okay, so we do need a governor in Karnata. This should really be a member of the Nanda family. Like this guy. They're still scorned. They need one more job, but that's okay. Cool. So we're making progress there. And these guys will get over being unintegrated soon enough. So we can sort by cultural happiness here and see, yeah, they're pretty upset. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. We're being pretty rude. I do want to go in and check in on our provinces here. So we're going to sort by religious unity here, make sure that anything below 50% is set up correctly, and it is. Let's sort by integrated pops. This may well be quite different. So anything below 50% here that isn't already on religious, this is at 65%, so we can go ahead and take that over to cultural assimilation. This is already on cultural assimilation. This absolutely should be. As should this. 10 and 64. Yep, cultural assimilation. 12 and 100. Absolutely cultural assimilation. Cultural assimilation. Cultural assimilation. And we're just going to continue working away at this for a while. So all of these should be on cultural assimilation pretty much. We're going to need a lot of work here. There's no doubt about that. And this isn't shocking. Just checking through here. This one could be swapped over. As long as they are over 50% religion. We basically want them to be on cultural assimilation. And that's pretty much what we've crafted here. Wow. That's like 4 times that I've tried to grab this and failed. Okay, there we go. Cool. Yeah, that looks good. Our highest cultural assimilation is here. That definitely needs to continue to be worked on. So that looks fine. We are going to go into our Indian tribe traditions. We're going to bump up our war elephant morale. Beautiful. And beyond that, I do want to continue to build provincial legations to continue to assimilate pops. Only 3 more to go there. I love it. So now the question is, when are we going to attack the Magadin Empire? The Sumpin Civil War has ended. We're at 25.54, going down by 0.2 per month. Okay, fair enough. So we're starting to lose efficiency on this going away, but we're still going to take a lot of aggressive expansion, I think. Let's see here. 1, 2... yeah, we would end up... Who are these guys allied with? Are they the same? Get back here. There we go. Now we're back where we wanted to be. So, yeah, that's the guys all the way up here. We don't care about them exactly. These we would vassalize. These we would vassalize. The Magadan Empire we would likely look to vassalize as well. Treatment was successful. Okay, cool. I think that we would look to vassalize the Magadan Empire here. How much AE would that all be? Probably a fair amount, is my guess. Sure, we can side with this guy. His loyalty is a lot lower. So there we go. We'll go ahead and do that. And let's get those last couple of provincial legations going. And then I think we'll think about attacking the Magadan Empire. We definitely need to work on cultural assimilation. That is going to be a big, big thing here at this point. So assimilating the Tamils, that is going to be worked on. That's going to take a while, but we're definitely going to work on that. Avanti Assault is also something that we're going to be working on. We're going to need to fight Sumpa for that. And we're going to need to give up on a buffer state with the Seleucids for that one. Granary of India. Okay. So basically, this is requiring that in each of these locations, we have farming settlements. We already do in pretty much all of these locations. We prioritize building farming settlements. So we would need to move more population into those areas. That's exactly the same thing as with the jungle elephants, right? It's the same situation. So that is a theoretical possibility. That would need to be owned by us. That is a war with Sumpa. Okay. I want to have this be open here and take a quick look. Okay, so all of these territories are controlled by us. We have provincial legations in these areas right now. This is a silk-producing city. So this is a possibility here. We would probably want to end up building mills. Indeed. We would want to build our 3 mills here. So we'll get those going. That is going to work on our development of silk. Another mill would be another 122 gold. Okay, that's fine. I do want to attack the Magadan Empire soon. We're almost certainly going to want to have mercs for that. And we would send the mercs out to fight over here while these guys dealt with this territory. The mercs would come here, and then we'd send, like, levies up to defend up here, or perhaps even take this location. That's a possibility. And then there's this location here that we would have to deal with. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Let's pop back in over this direction and get that additional 3rd mill going. So there we go. The head of the Naga family just died. Okay. And then we'd go for what? Tax offices? Perhaps. Definitely perhaps. Okay. So we'd probably actually look to get one of these set up as a city. So we'll just do that to pin that open. This is already a city here. So this is set up slightly awkwardly. I would get rid of the marketplaces here, as well as probably this aqueduct, and we'd look to build a few mills here. Would be the idea. So we'll get a 2nd mill going here, and we'll need to queue up a 3rd one soon enough. So the idea behind that is to produce additional elephants, right? For the minus slaves needed for local surplus. So how many slaves are currently needed for this surplus? Every 21 slave pops will produce an additional +1 elephant. That's a lot of slave pops. No doubt about that. This will bring it down somewhat. Tax offices don't necessarily help that. Foundries? A foundry would definitely help it. Centralized production. So what would we need for centralized production? This is kind of a a filler thing. So I wouldn't mind going to like civic advances. I don't think it's in civic. I think it's probably in oratory, which we've done almost nothing in. So centralized construction would be where? I mean, scientific patronage into sponsored research would be funny, but where is that? That's not how you spell. Centralized. Is that how you spell? Maybe. That is a hard maybe. I'm going to go with production instead. That's an easier word to spell. Cool. So civic advances here. I don't think it's in martial advances. Religious? I'm not immediately seeing it. Well, here's a centralized, so now we know how to spell that. Fantastic. Centralized. Cool. And now that's highlighting this one, centralized comites. Sure. I would have expected it to be in one of these two trees. Am I completely blind? That is a distinct possibility. That is very much a distinct possibility. I'm seeing this. Okay, we're going to come back over here. We're going to build the additional mill. And that definitely says we require... There are too few people for another building. Yeah, is this no longer saying that we require centralized production? Maybe not. Let's go ahead and get rid of our fortress here. I don't think that that's necessary. Now it's not possible to build because we need the invention centralized production. So that is a military one. So maybe I was just completely wrong. It's a martial advance. Right over here. Okay, so I was just completely and totally blind. Fantastic. Slave output plus 5%. So we would end up looking to increase slave output and moving down towards centralized production, right? I think that would be what we would look to do there. Getting our hands on foundries would be very, very, very useful. Can we even build foundries to forge elephants? I feel like that's a little strange, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and call down this state religion happiness. Fantastic. How are we doing on this? 175. Beautiful. I want to check in real quick on how our cultures are doing. So this is going to be until June of 670. We'll pay to replace those stockpiles. That's fine. And we'll get this final provincial legation going. Cool. So all of these conversions are now proceeding. I want to check in on our... Where am I going? I want to go in here. Administration provinces. I want to check in on all this. Make sure that all of these are still set up correctly. And they appear to be. Cool. So that's good. The Magadans are fighting Sumpa again. Okay. Sure. We're still waiting for our aggressive expansion to drop, and I would eventually like to attack the Magadans. There's no doubt about that. The time to do that is getting much closer. There's a crisis in the Magadan Empire. Okay, cool. And these would need to be increased in their production as well. Okay, so all of these already have farming settlements. So what they need is they need to have additional slaves brought in here, right? That's mostly what needs to happen there, like pop growth. Or just moving slaves in. That would be the other option. 6 stability for 10 political influence is absolutely worthwhile right now as we keep our political influence high. We've got this decay going on, which is going to continue to be the case, but it's mostly the aggressive expansion that's causing that. So I think that's completely and totally fine. We're maxed out on our research efficiency. I love it. And of course, we're currently 88 years ahead of time. By the time we finish this up, we'll be like 78 years ahead of time. Although it's going to continue to accelerate as we are no longer quite as ahead of time. So that'll be fine. We are about 10 years out from that finishing. Cool. So how much culture happiness is this? Minus 20 and 10% citizen and noble output. Noted. So it should be fine in terms of the happiness. These guys are not very happy right now, the unintegrated pops here. But the Lankans, of course, are reasonably happy. And we're just going to continue to increase our number of Lankans. I saw that number go up by a few on the month tick. I don't know how many that went up by, and it would be interesting to know how many Lankan pops we're getting every month here. 1843? I think it was 1839 before, so I think that's like four pops per month tick. That's pretty good if that's actually... It's not necessarily representative of the average month tick, but that's still pretty good. 1849? Wow, that was like 6. Yeah, that's going pretty well. So our ruler died. Okay. And there's a civil war potentially brewing up here. So who is the actual angry person here? This guy. Consider him bribed. Cool. So we're going to marry somebody probably from the Nanda family if we can. How old are we? This ruler is 29? Okay, we should probably find somebody who's a somewhat similar age. Wow. 24 or 37? Okay. Arrange the festivities. Cool. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are almost certainly going to attack the Magadan Empire. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. There are barbarians raiding us, and we will deal with those next episode. A very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, MLohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Rogue Corvid, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.